modeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he can take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Scott Tyson here with the 97.7 ESPN Zone Sports Minute. Behind a season-high 22 made three-pointers. 17th ranked Alabama would lead from start to finish as they cruise past Mississippi State 100-75. Their seventh straight SEC contest win. Amari Allen leads the way with 23 points. Other SEC scores: 7th ranked Florida 84-71 winners over Texas. 20th ranked Arkansas downs Texas A&M 99-84. 25th ranked Vanderbilt stops Georgia 88-80, and LSU over Ole Miss 106-99 in overtime. UNA knocks off Bellarmine at home last night, 73-68. Regional final scores: 6A girls, Fort Payne 52, Mountain Brook 37. 7A girls, Albertville falls to Hoover 74-46, and in 7A boys, Hoover stops Sparkman 62-59. Make sure and download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app today.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Tom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog,
Let's go, baby!
Tom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my elbow.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here. Tagovailoa trying to make up for it. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins!
Okay. If you know, you know. Okay, it's February 26th. It's 2:26. It's second and 26. All right, there you go. So a lot of people celebrating that today. Welcome in on a Throwback Thursday in the doghouse. I wonder how Steve Moulton feels about that little play there. Yeah. Happy 2:26 day. If you will. Now, every Thursday, we do feature some sort of throwback bump music. It could be old TV shows, or cartoons, movies, wrestling walk-up songs, musicians' birthdays, or death days. You never know. Whatever the boys want to use. There's no theme necessarily, but we are building a library of throwback tunes for you. And you can feel free to contribute to our selections as well. Just hit the text window with some stuff that you'd like to hear on Throwback Thursday, and I'll pass it on to the boys. Now, we do have a busy show for you today. It's my final day of the week. I am off to Chickamauga Lake to fish the Tennessee Bass Nation team qualifier with my son Joe this week, and this will qualify us for the state championship at Kentucky Lake in June, and that can lead to the national championship this fall. Now, I'm also fishing in the Bass Nation Individual Championship at the club level on Timms Ford Lake later this month, and then the regional at Cherokee Lake in April. And then if you qualify, the national championship in November at Lake Hartwell in South Carolina. That all leads to a seat at the Bassmaster Classic. Now, I'm not going to make that. I understand that. This is a young man's game. I get that. This is absolutely a young man's game now. with the incredible electronic advancements and the time that these guys have to spend on the water. They're on the water every day. The time that they have out there with their electronics. But I still love to compete. I mean, I'm 65. I feel like I'm 35. I just still love to compete. Okay. So when, as part of my deal with Bassmaster and writing stories I write and the coverage that we do with Bassmaster Radio and everything else, I still compete. Now, I'm not the oldest dude out there, but there's not a whole lot of them that are older than me. But what a story it would be for me to, kind of go a little ways, maybe move on from one level to the next. That would be kind of cool. I just love to compete, man. I need to find a senior tour. Is there a senior tour on? That's what I need. I need to find a senior tour. Compete against the other old guys. Now, in a couple of weeks, I'll head off to Knoxville for the Super Bowl of bass fishing, which is, of course, the Bassmaster Classic. Of course, there, my role is as a broadcaster, the MC of various things. I'm the voice of the arena there at the Thompson Bowling Arena, where there'll be 15,000 people. And I'm the one that introduces the fishermen as they come in, into the arena and stuff, and all the activations that go on in the arena and everything else like that. And then I MC a huge welcome, the kickoff event that welcomes, it's the media event with 300 media members and all the fishermen and everything else. And I MC that on day one of the event, or before the event gets started as well. So, all of that kind of stuff we'll be doing. Now, that will be during the SEC tournament. So I was going to be missing shows anyway. So don't be like, you got, other guys saying AC be like, you got to put your sons on the air. They're better than you anyway. It won't be the case because the SEC tournament will be taking place. So there's that. All right. Well, maybe it'll be the big tournament. No, that's the SEC tournament. No, that would be the SEC tournament. All right. Phone lines are wide open. All right. We have got some baseball in here. We got some football in here. We got a hockey note in here. Hour one, though, is wide open for you. So go ahead and jump on the lines now. You can jump in and contribute at 256-576-4977. That number is good however you consume the show. We got a text window for you as well. You can hit me up in the text window as well. We'll read and react to those on the air. 732-9TA show, 732-982-7469. And then finally, you can watch the show as well on WZZN TV, on the YouTube and the Facebook and on the X. My X feed is at Tom Abraham Show, and I probably should go ahead and bang the repost number so that deal there so that you can have that. And I just did that right now, so you can go ahead and watch it. At Tom Abraham Show is a great place to find that. Now, at the top of the one, former NFL Executive of the Year Jeff Diamond is back with the latest NFL news, including what his role is in prepping college players on how to handle themselves at the NFL Combine. He works for an agency firm now, and his job is to get the guys right for the interviews that they do and so on. And so we'll talk to him about that as the combine is getting going. And, we'll ask him also what he thinks about guys that choose not to throw at the combine, instead waiting to throw at their own pro days. And then Tom Luginbill of ESPN and ABC is back, joining us from the slopes of some mountain somewhere. I don't know where he is. But we'll get his thoughts on the quarterbacks in the draft. Plus, Tom is a part of the UFL broadcast. And we'll talk about some of the rule changes that are coming up there as well, if any of those could seep into the NFL or college football. College football has conformed in a lot of ways to the NFL rules. They used to have different size goalposts and things like that are the same. The NFL absorbed the 2-point conversion that had been in college forever. But there are a couple of very significant differences still in the college game that are not in the NFL game. 1 foot in for a completion, which will be in the UFL now. The only league on the planet that has 2 feet for a completion is the NFL. The UFL is going to 1 foot, the college rule, which I don't like them doing that, to be honest with you. They're not a college league. They're a professional league, a spring professional league. They should be doing 2 foot in. Okay. The NFL has the narrow hash marks, whereas the college game still has wider hash marks. Now, the college game used to have the same hash marks that we have in high school now. So right now there are 3 sets of hash marks at 3 different levels. The high school hashes are wider, and then the college hashes are a little more narrow, and then the NFL hashes are right in the middle of the field, basically. Okay? The UFL uses those hashes. But it makes a significant difference of how you play defense. Because, the wider the hash is, you can defend to the field. You take a defender, you got 11 guys. You don't have an even number of guys. You got 11 guys. It's not Canadian football. So, you could go ahead and put the extra man to the field on defense if you want to do that. But it also strategically gives you opportunities to do things on offense. Whereas, in the NFL game, you can run left or right. It's fairly balanced. Whereas in the high school game, for example, running into the boundary is kind of a little bit of a cross up because most teams will set their defense to the field, and then you can run to the boundary, maybe use some motion, get an advantage there, and so on. And the college game has got that in it as well. So we'll get into some of that stuff with Lugs. And then we'll also talk a little bit of scheduling with him. Alabama currently has 4 non-conference games on their 2028 schedule. They added Georgia State to the slate that already had Oklahoma State, Ohio State, and Tennessee Martin on it. Now, the front end of that home and home with Ohio State is in Columbus in 2027, with the return game in 28 in Tuscaloosa. So this has led to the speculation that the Tide are looking to dump that series. How can they dump that series without looking petty or looking small time? You're Alabama. You don't dump that series with Ohio State. And nor have they done that. It's just some people are speculating about it. Then you mix in the comments of Ohio State AD Ross Bjork, of course, who was formerly with Texas A&M, basically goading Alabama into playing them. He said, quote, "We expect the 2-game series to be played. We should never be afraid to play anybody. We're Ohio State. People probably should be afraid to play us, right?" Close quote. Well, now you said it. Now you're saying that if Alabama bails on the series, that they're afraid to play Ohio State. Come on. That would be a horrible look for Alabama and the SEC. Because remember, Texas is hosting Ohio State this year after playing up there last year. So the Buckeyes will play Texas and Alabama for 4 consecutive years, basically. And they were playing Notre Dame before that. So say what you want about their conference. I mean, they're playing 9 conference games, and half of those are cupcakes because of the Big Ten. Big Ten's good at the top, but, it gets very cupcakey about midway through. But at least Ohio State is making an effort to flex nationally. Michigan's playing Oklahoma. Played them last year, playing them again this year. But there are teams in the Big Ten that don't play any Power 4 conference teams. Look, Indiana just won the Natty. And they deserved the Natty because they ran roughshod over Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, then Alabama, Oregon, Miami. I mean, that's a murderer's row. They beat some big-time programs. But they dodge everyone during the regular season. And in fact, Indiana will not play a P4 team, a Power 4 conference team, which includes Notre Dame, because Notre Dame isn't independent, but considered like a P4. They will not play a P4 team until they play Notre Dame in 2030. 2030. That's when they play Notre Dame. They have no P4 teams on their non-conference schedule between now and then. And if you miss, like they did, some years, you miss Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, you're not playing anybody. This year, they have to play Ohio State. I think they play USC. They play Michigan. The Big Ten brags about their 9-game conference schedule, but they continue to allow their schools to play 3 cupcakes a year. In the SEC, by rule, you have to play at least 1 P4 non-conference game, and many teams play 2, like Alabama did last year with Florida State and Wisconsin. My guess is that Alabama has to push the Oklahoma State game out of 2028. That has to be the plan. Has to be the plan. You're not going to play Oklahoma State, Georgia State, and Tennessee Martin. You can't do that. You can't say, hey, we can't play Ohio State because we got to play Georgia State. You can't do that. I don't care about playing cupcakes and winning your way into the playoff and everything else. You're there are certain teams that you never bail out of a game with the top team. There are certain teams that can't do that. Ohio State can't bail on the Alabama series. Alabama can't bail on Ohio State. Ohio State can't bail on Texas. Ohio State or Michigan can't bail on Oklahoma. Oklahoma can't bail on Michigan. There are certain teams that are in a certain pantheon. Those teams, if they're on each other's schedules, they got to stay on each other's schedules. If you're Penn State and you want to play a cupcake schedule, you go ahead and do that. It got James Franklin fired. All right, over there in Mission Control. Playing the Plasma Matter, the Stacks of Wax, answering the phones, keeping us on the air, trying to figure out what throwback tunage he's going to play. It's the one and the only Grasshopper.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together on a spit and polish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
I have a sentimental weakness for my children, and I spoil them, as you can see. They talk when they should listen.
Give me back my son!
I don't like violence, Tom. I'm a businessman.
I'm telling you, there's an embarrassing press conference in that kid's future.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Do you hear the grasshopper, which is at your feet?
Old man, how is it that you hear these things?
Young man, how is it that you do not?
As quickly as you can, snatch the pebble from my hand. When you can take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave.
Think about Waller trying to make up for it. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins!
Second and 26. Yeah, happy 226, John.
That's what I needed, actually.
Yeah, doesn't that give you a little boost?
It didn't just bring me back to the football season. It also brought me back to when Alabama was riding hot in the national title game.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
A couple since then, you know what I mean?
Feels like there should be a few movies about that time.
Yeah, you know, there could be. You never know. There could be. It's a nice shirt you got on there, John. That's looking good there. You're looking very tacky there. That's good. I am not. I am in traveling gear. Shortly after the show ends, I take care of some last minute business things and so on, and then finish getting the boat packed up and getting my gear packed up. Your brother will be bringing his gear over here, and if he's not here already, I don't know if he's here yet or not. He had to do some line changing and things like that. And, you know, I don't know how we'll do at Chick, but I'm going to really, really, really enjoy the next couple of days hanging out with one of my sons and competing in the tournament. You know, old man that I am.
So you're going out of town?
Yeah, it's Chickamauga.
Well, what the heck? I was literally coming up to you this weekend. So
I'll be back Saturday night.
I won't be here Saturday night. You know I don't got any lights on that Mustang that I got.
Well, you do have lights. What do you mean you don't have any lights? Haven't you taken those stupid shades off of the headlights yet that your brother put on there?
Cool. You know what? They've grown on me, even though I can't see anything at nighttime.
Oh, that's not good. That's dangerous.
I've driven around Huntsville enough to know the roads, but at the same time,
you can drive in the dark.
It gets a little bit terrifying if you're ever on a back road, especially with how low that thing rides. I've hit a few armadillos on Winchester Road, so I'd really hope to not do that again.
You need to take those things off, okay? Take those shades off of those headlights. No. I think they're probably illegal, to be honest with you.
Well, nobody stopped me yet.
Yeah, well, you know.
The
why don't you stay till Sunday? Why are you doing just Saturday night? What's up with that?
Well, I wanted to take a little gander at what Danny's cooking up over at his house. He's got some chicken sandwiches that I need to review. Summer needs to get her hair did. And I need to pay Tommy. That's so basically it.
So stay till Sunday. He could really do something earth-shattering. Why don't you stay to Sunday and go to church with us, with your mother and I? You know, that would be a good thing.
I'd have to get back to the house early.
That's early Sunday. What do you got to get there early Sunday? What do you got to do that for early Sunday? You don't have to do that.
You know, I got things to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Getting ready for the NASCAR race.
Yeah.
You know, all of that.
Yeah. I think you need to. Do you know that, not to make you feel old because you're young and you wouldn't even know this. I don't know, in our throwback music today, it was announced It was announced yesterday, I think, that the Atlanta Braves at Truist Park, the Atlanta Braves are going to be hosting the Eagles, are going to be there playing a concert. Now, they're going to have the Tedeschi Trucks people, with them there, but the Eagles are playing at Truist Park. And two things on that. One, first of all, Glenn Fry and Randy Meisner are dead. Two of the four Eagles.
Okay.
I mean, Don Henley and Bernie Leadon are alive, but two of the four guys are dead. So I don't know. I mean, I assume they replaced the dead guys in that.
Holograms. This is 2026.
Yeah. Joe Walsh played with them back in the day as well. So I think that Joe Walsh may be there with them, but they're, what's left of the Eagles. But get this. This year is the 50th anniversary, unless I can't do math, 1976, right? I mean, 26 to 2000, 26, 24, and 26. Yeah. This is the 50th anniversary of 1976, right? Yeah, because in 1976, we had the sesquicentennial. It was when the country was 200 years old, and now the country is 250 years old. Whatever they're calling this thing, we got America 250, all right? 50. This year is the 50th anniversary of the song Hotel California. Hotel California.
By the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No, by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Get out of here. Hotel California. One of the great anthems of all time at Eagles, Hotel California. With the great opening to it. You got to cue it up. With the drums. Boom. Boom. That song has got one of the great openings of all times. Give me a little of that.
You know I had it queued up. Come on now.
Wait, you got to get me to the drums. Get me to the part where they start. Oh, this is good. Gosh, you're taking me down memory lane. Right here. Boom, boom. No, it's not yet.
I'll get you there. I'll speed it up.
You got to get me there. You got to get me there. I don't even know what these are, like a sitar or something, some kind of fancy guitar. No, just let it go. Let it go. Just give me a little bit of that. 50 years, Hotel California.
I think it's about to hit now. Yeah.
Here it is. Yeah. There you go. So I got this album for my 15th birthday. My 15th birthday, I got that album, Hotel California. 50 years. I mean, when I was your age, and I'd think of a song, and I was 25 years old, and you think of a song that's 50 years old. You know what I mean? I mean, a song for you think of a song that's 50 years old. That would be like me thinking of a song from the 40s or something, or from the 50s, or the 40s, or the 30s. Does that sound like a song from the 30s? Does that sound like terribly, terribly old to you in Hollywood?
It definitely does not.
Oh my gosh, it's Hotel California.
It lives up till today. I want to know how you listen to this song. Like, what do you mean? So you got a record. All right.
I got the actual record, yeah. Which, by the way, still sounds better than digital or CDs or anything like that. The original vinyl, there's something to it that just sounds different if it's not scratchy, which is better. You lose something in these digital recordings. Let me get the Philip in here. He's got to be losing his mind. Philip, 50 years old. Hotel California is 50 years old. You believe that?
Yep. So, Heartache Tonight has always been my favorite Eagles song. And ironically, the story behind that song was the Eagles had it for years. Could not figure out the chorus. Were about to give up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn Fry, very good friends with the greatest singer-songwriter dude ever, Bob Seger, said, hey, what do you think about this and what can we do to finish it? The next day, he returns with Heartache Tonight chorus. There's Heartache.
Yeah, that would be I don't like, it's a Seeger sound. It has a very much a Seeger sound, Heartache Tonight. I am not a huge fan of that one. I'm more into their harmony songs. The
Seven Bridges Row.
Yeah. And then of course,
Desperado.
Desperado. Oh gosh, Desperado is outstanding. We may just play all Eagles today. You got your Desperado, you got your Hotel California, you got your what's the slowing down to take a look at me. I can't believe I can't remember the name of the song.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Take it easy. I think is actually my favorite Eagles song. I think Take It Easy is probably my favorite Eagles song. Of course, Vince Gill does a lot with the Eagles. And he plays with the Eagles quite a bit. He'd do a lot of Eagles songs. Vince Gill played with everybody, though. Vince plays with everybody. I mean, he was playing with the Allman Brothers, Greg Allman, plays with the Eagles, does some stuff with Kid Rock, did some stuff with John Bon Jovi. Plays with everybody.
He's pretty good.
He's not bad. He's not bad.
The reason I called.
Yeah.
I missed yesterday's show, so I went back and listened to the replay. Well, the only part of yesterday's show that I caught was Danica's call talking about his arts and craft project and how he's a man because he uses a jigsaw, whatever. Yeah. So I went back and listened to the replay because I wanted to hear Molten.
Mm.
But Grumpy's call gave me an idea.
Yeah.
And this would really, really improve on your show. Not that it necessarily needs it.
No.
But I think a once a week prank call session would be pretty good.
So
either that or like a man on the street. Send Grasshopper to we could do this like on Tuesdays or something.
Yeah.
Or Mondays. Pick a town, whatever town, NFL game, and they kind of get their butts kicked, just take some digs at some folks.
Yeah. So
that would be hilarious.
Yeah, it is, and it was. And I'll tell you when we did it, and I would actually, we really should bring this back. You got to think about this, John, especially for college football season. It would be really good. You got to remind me of this later on. We did this in Florida when I was down there. We would call whoever the Dolphins were playing, like if they were playing Cincinnati, we would call like Dunkin' Donuts in Cincinnati and just ask for a Bengals fan. And we just can we talk to a Bengals fan? And we would get a Bengals fan on or a Lions fan on. We would call the city where the team that we were covering was playing, and we would just start making bets with them, start ripping on them and giving them a hard time and all that kind of stuff. So there is a precedent for something like that, and it would be great to bring that back. I could see calling Alabama's playing Georgia and calling a coffee shop at Athens and just kind of giving them a hard time trying to make a bet. Something like that. It's a good idea.
That would be
epic.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Phenomenal. Okay. Yeah.
Add it to the dictionary.
Yes, I like that. Phenomenal. The phenomenal idea of the week.
There, Grasshopper has something to work on.
Somebody just...
Come on, let's make this happen.
Chubby Ninja just hit the text window with a reminder that I completely forgot about, that Vince Gill was the lead singer for the Pure Prairie League. Oh, I forgot about that. There's another great band. Oh,
yes, he was.
Amy? Oh, my gosh, what a great band that was. Pure Prairie League. Yeah.
That's where he got to start, actually.
Vince used to listen to the show when we were on in Nashville the first time, when you discovered us. Vince used to listen to the show because he was a big Predators fan. He is a big Predators fan, season ticket holder. And he had been on the show a few times. And he came and sat down with us at a golf tournament, John, Vince Gill. And I asked him to play at my funeral. I said, would you come and play at my funeral live, go rest high on the mountain? And he said, yeah, you don't know how many times I get asked that. So, anyway. Yeah. It's a good job by you, Philip.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, John, make sure that's on the playlist at my party, okay? When you guys have, when I kick the bucket in another 20 years or so, and you guys have that big party, you know, that's what I want now. Yeah. I don't want no all, you know, Italian women wailing and, you know, I'm dead and all that kind of stuff. I don't want that. I want a party. I want you all to have a party, you know, a memorial service / party for me when I kick. Of course, you got to play Freebird. You might play Take It Easy, but you definitely got to play Go Rest High on a Mountain.
Okay.
You got to do that.
Trust me, I know how your funeral is going to be. You've showed me
it's going to be a party.
Bronx Tale a long time ago.
Yes. No, this needs to be a major party. Because it's like a graduation. To me, I look at it, whenever I do kick, I look at it as like a, graduation, you know, because I'll be with the big guy and I'll be living large, handling radio, sports talk radio in heaven. See how that works out. All right, we get a break. When we come back, we keep the calls going. I got things to talk about. If you want to talk about other things, that's okay. Alabama destroying State last night. Oh my gosh. I mean, they shot 50 3-pointers. 50 and hit 44%. And the starters were 17 of 34. 17 of 34. The starters hit 50% of their threes. They play like that to beat everybody. Amari Allen was, I think, 6 of 7. 6 of 7. You play like that, you beat everybody. Of course, you play Mississippi State every night, and you'll win a lot of games. But they won that thing by like 25, scored a hundy heading into the Tennessee game on Saturday. All right, we'll come back. Tom Abraham Show. More in a moment.
Westwood One presents Great Moments in Tournament History. Brought to you by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer.
The year Butler finally did it. A script so good, it could have been a movie. After several years of knocking on the door, Butler came crashing through in 2010 and made a historic run that captivated college basketball. Gordon Hayward led the mid-major Bulldogs past more heralded schools en route to an unlikely berth in the Final Four.
Second free throw, no good. Rebound, Hayward has it for Butler, and this ball game is over. And Butler, yes, Butler will play for a national championship on Monday night. Butler defeats Michigan State.
But the Bulldogs couldn't complete the Hollywood ending, falling just short to Duke in the final, 61-59. Nevertheless, Butler's memorable march is another great moment in tournament history.
97.7, The Zone.
AL cert number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are our grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490 or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
At Kern Electrical, we're more than just a Generac generator dealer. We're your partners in ensuring your home or business never loses power, especially when it matters most. Call 256-880-1880 today or visit gensuperstore.com for reliable power solutions that work when you need them most.
Most current way to keep your power on. GeneracSuperstore.com.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693. What's better than 2 End Zone Sports Bars? 3 End Zone Sports Bars. And we have you covered with our original location on University across from Red Lobster, in Jones Valley on Cecil Ashburn near Carl T. Jones, and our newest location in the Midtown District on McMurtry Drive opposite the Target Plaza. All locations feature the NFL Sunday Ticket, Tuesday half-price burgers, and Wednesday $1 jumbo wings all day long. You're never far from the End Zone. End Zone Sports Bar.
Brian Bellamy State Farm Insurance, located in the Rosie's Shopping Plaza, strives to help customers find the best auto insurance, home insurance, life insurance, and more. No matter where you are in life, Brian Bellamy State Farm Insurance is here to help you find your best insurance and retirement needs. You can find them on the web at brianbellamyagency.com or call them at 256-539-7530. Brian Bellamy State Farm Insurance is a proud supporter of UAH Athletics and reminds everyone to go Chargers. Brian Bellamy State Farm, here to help life go right.
Hello, listeners. My name is Jonathan Dunwoody, and I own Minuteman Press. We are a full-service print shop that is locally owned and operated. I have personally been handling direct mail for over 17 years and have a great relationship with the USPS. We are the only print shop in the area that is listed as a print provider on their website and the only printing franchise that can use their logo as our partner on marketing materials. We can help from conception to design, print, and delivery to the post office. And with our easy, secure online payment option, you don't even need to leave your office. Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental. And they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the exact machine for you. Now, whether it's new construction or daily work environments or an area that's been neglected for far too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you get the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Call Valley Equipment and ask them for more details on how they can help you out today. That's it. Life in the fast lane. That's it. We're just doing all Eagles today. I'm sorry, John. I don't know what you had planned. I don't know where you were going with it. We're just going straight Eagles today.
It's all right. I did get one suggestion.
Yeah.
It's all right. We can hold it until next Thursday.
Yeah. Woo! All Eagles. Sorry. Got to do it. So does Hollywood Hogan know anything about the Eagles?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, is he into it? Is he
wants to make sure you know that he was the one that suggested this song.
Life in the Fast Lane?
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense because he's a NASCAR guy. Right? I mean, kind of goes along with what it goes. Can he hear the show yet? I mean, when you're talking, when you open up your mic, I mean, does he have headphones? Do you guys get the splitter yet, for God's sakes? At least so that he can hear the show, what's going on?
No. I actually think I have one, but I keep forgetting it because it's in my briefcase.
What's the matter with you people? I mean, it's been 3 weeks. I mean, am I wasting my breath at these, at these staff meetings? I mean, what's going on with that?
No, we're too busy eating chicken bakes. Come on.
I mean, that's what's happening. We get the chicken bake, and we all love the chicken bake, and then nothing happens. I mean, it's nothing happens. I got to make it like homework. I got to make it like school. Like, okay, you can write it down. Then next week, you got to tell me, how you did with this.
Can't say nothing happens. We plow through like 250 grams of protein in those meetings.
Yeah, I said nothing other than eating chicken bake from Costco. That's it. We have chicken bake at Costco and nothing else happens.
Boom.
Bill in Madison says Hotel California is great, but take it easy. I saw them at California Jam when I was in the Marines, and Ontario Motor Speedway had Deep Purple, Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh, I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. Rare Earth, with one of the greatest drummers, Peter Rivera, and Seals and Cross, many more. 350,000 people were at the concert. That's a lot of people. California Jam. Yeah, he says, I'll be 70 this year. Bill and Madison. So, John, I saw the Eagles live 45 years ago. I saw the Eagles live at the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester, New York. 45 years ago, I saw the Eagles live. And they opened the show with Hotel California in 1981. Hotel California debuts in 1976. The album comes out. It comes out as a single in 1976, and the album comes out in 1977. So, yeah, I think I got it for my 15th birthday or something like that. Ray Dog says, yeah, it's 50 years since 1976. My parents' 50th wedding anniversary is at the end of April. Ray Dog's watching the show from his desk at the office. Good job by you, Ray Dog. Good job by you. I haven't seen you in a while. His parents' 50th anniversary is coming up. My 50th anniversary is coming up in about 5 years. It'll be my 50th anniversary. My wife wants to go to Italy. I don't want to go to Italy. I mean, I want to be there. I want to go to Sicily. I want to be there, but I don't want to go there. You know what I mean? I don't want to get on a plane and fly for 12 hours. I just don't. The flying tube of terror. I get a little claustrophobic. I don't know if I want to go down that path. I would like to be there. I don't want to go there. So my parents, what will theirs be this year, John? My parents have been married for 60. See, they got married in 58, 59. When did my parents get married? 59. Yeah, they got married in 59. So my parents have been married for 67 years. This year will be 67 years of marriage for my parents. How's that, John? It's pretty cool. That's a little more than a minute. I don't know if you caught any of this from yesterday. This is hilarious. The ABS system is in play, right? In the spring training. And the Red Sox Pirates game yesterday in Fort Myers. Remember, if you challenge and you're right, you keep your challenge. So you get 2 wrong challenges. You get to be wrong twice during, when you challenge. Instead of it just telling the umpire what it was, you get to be wrong twice. And remember what I said about how it will kind of embarrass the umpire a little bit, kind of show the umpire up? So in the spring training game yesterday, all right, between the pitcher, the batter, and the catcher, in like the first 3 innings, they kept challenging calls by the umpire. Now, ball one. No. Challenge. And he was wrong. He went 6 straight times, 6 straight challenges. He was wrong. Called balls that were strikes, called strikes that were balls. 6 in a row in 3 innings. And the batter would be like, no. Strike. No. And he'd tap his helmet. On the 7th one, he got it right. The batter, the catcher challenged it, said it was a strike. He called a ball, and it was a ball. And the crowd gave him the Bronx cheer. I mean, you got to love Fenway South, right? You got all them Boston people there in Fort Myers at JetBlue Park. And on the 7th one, the guy got it right. And they gave him just, hey! He got it right. Let me tell you something. Wait till this happens in Yankee Stadium. Wait till this happens in Detroit. Wait till this happens in Cleveland. When this goes on like this, and these guys are wrong over and over and over again, this is bad for the umpire. This is bad for the umpire. The umpire is going to get embarrassed. to no end. They miss 25, 30 calls a night. And they're going to get embarrassed. I'm telling you, if I'm the umpire association, I'm going straight to baseball and say, stop it. Just tell us what it is, ball or a strike. Put a buzzer on my hip. 1 beep for a strike, 2 beeps for a ball. That's it. Don't make me keep calling it and being wrong. You make me keep calling it. There's an old saying, and I've told you this, Grasshopper. How many times have I told you this? It's better to keep your mouth shut and leave doubt to your ignorance than open your mouth and leave no doubt at all.
17 times.
Yes. A year. So with the umpires, it's better to just leave doubt to them getting it right or wrong and just tell them what it is, because this is what's going to happen. This umpire missed 6 in a row in 3 innings. He missed 6 in a row. And then when he got one right, the crowd gave him a Bronx cheer. It was a spring training game. You ever been to a spring training game? There's nobody there except for geriatrics. And there's like 6,000 people at the game. What is it going to be like when there's 50,000 people in the stadium and the game means something? Spring training game, look, I know that they're more important than they used to be. I've been going to spring training games since I was a kid. And they used to be like a picnic. You go to a spring training game, it's like a picnic. Now you go to a spring training game, it's like, oh, this is a serious thing. I paid, $80 for a ticket to a spring training game. It's ridiculous. But it's still meaningless. Number 97 is pitching to number 83, And the umpire's getting it wrong over and over and over. Johnny Tiger is up. Johnny Tiger, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, Tom. How you doing, bud?
I am fantastic.
Hey, I hate to back up on your comments. I totally agree with what you were talking about. I'm not a real big baseball fan, but I think technology, as much as it may help, there's going to always be problems. But I wanted to back up on your Eagles, about the Eagles.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I saw the Eagles in 1974 in Florence, Alabama.
Oh, really?
On the North Alabama campus.
So that's before Hotel California.
Yes. I saw them again. They came to Florence, and the reason Florence used to, you wouldn't believe the people that had been there. ZZ Top. I mean, it was just, we had all the recording studios and most of the shows over at Fame and the Alabama recording studio. And so they were in town, and North Alabama had a real good relationship. And they could get some concerts sometimes that was really nobody could believe. And, but anyway, I saw them 26 years later. I guess it was 26, around 2001, where the Hell Freezes Over tour started.
Right.
Around in there, whenever they started that in Tupelo. So,
wow.
Anyway, I couldn't remember what time you said you had seen them.
I saw them I saw them in 81. Was the first time I saw them in 81. They were the Eagles. I saw the Doobie Brothers and the Eagles in the same summer. And yeah, the thing is, I love the Doobie Brothers and the harmony of the Doobie Brothers. But back then, they would play their popular songs, but they were unrecognizable. They were like, I think, some of these bands, they get tired of playing them and they would like do different sound. And it's like, just play it the way it sounds on the radio, please. Can you just play the thing clean? And they were like going all over the place. Now I've seen the Doobie Brothers on YouTube now that they're a bunch of old guys, and they play it pretty clean, and they're very good with their harmony. The Doobie Brothers had the best harmony of anybody. China Grove and Long Train Running and all that stuff. Their harmony was amazing.
Oh yeah.
But in that show that I saw in 1981, the Doobie Brothers, I was like, what song are they playing? Oh, wait a minute. They're playing Long Train Running? Really? That's it. They would just kind of go off and do crazy stuff. Yeah.
And real quick, also, do you ever? I know you're big into the bass fishing. I'm not a bass fisherman. I have some real good friends up here living in the shoals that have been into it and fished all their lives. They're not tournament fishermen, but they know that lake. And do you ever come fish Pickwick? By the way,
I fished Pickwick in a Bass Nation event last year. I fished Pickwick in a couple of Bassmaster Opens. I fished Pickwick I fished a hummingbird owners tournament there. I fished Pickwick probably 5 or 6 days of my life. It's a great lake. I love it. I love it. I go to the dam.
Well,
I go to catch the smallmouth, at the discharge at the dam. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful where you go. That transom will get ripped off if you don't know what you're doing around that dam.
No, that's true.
Well, listen, if you get back over for a fishing trip or anything, have you ever gone and toured the studios, the recording studios?
I haven't toured the studios. I've driven by it, but I haven't gone in. I haven't stopped in Florence and toured. I actually really love Florence. I've stayed at the Gun Runner, which is great, man. The Gun Runner is fantastic. My wife likes it over there. If we were ever to leave where we are now, and I think they'll take us out feet first, but if we were ever to leave here, Florence is a place that we would really like to go. I mean, I love Florence.
Well,
and then you got Wilson Lake, Pickwick Lake. I mean, it's a great spot over there.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Well, I agree with you. The Gun Runner is a great place. My wife and I go there to the bar downstairs. The bar now they have a rooftop bar also. But
really?
No,
okay.
it's become. Oh yeah, they've got a rooftop. It's really nice.
Yeah.
When the weather gets nice, you need to check that out. But well, listen, I won't keep you. I love your show, and I can't wait for it's time to beat the big dog again because I'm 2-0 against you.
You are 2-0 against me. Take me down. All right, brother. Appreciate you,
Tom.
All right, thanks. All right, we'll grab a break. We'll come back. Wolverine Dan, if you could stay put, we'll try and get you in. If not there at the top. It's the Tom Abraham Show. Back when we're right after this.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Braves baseball today in the Grapefruit League. Atlanta $1.42 underdog of the Yankees -170 at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. Last night in the college ranks, Alabama with a 100-75 romp over Mississippi State, covering as 12.5-point favorites as they win their 7th straight game. Jacksonville State 7.5-point home favorites with Delaware at the Pete Matthews Coliseum last night. In NASCAR, the Circuit of the Americas in Austin hosting the Duramax Grand Prix. Shane Van Gisbergen the +120 favorite. Connor Zilic +350. Christopher Bell 9-1. William Byron is 10-1. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care. No appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court, to the rack, and the plunge.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Rain comes to an end as we head into the overnight. Temperatures drop into the low and mid 40s. A mostly sunny sky for your Friday really is going to be an excellent way to end the work and school week. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s, dropping into the mid 40s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky for your Saturday. Temperatures climbing into the low 70s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by the award-winning service department at Woody Anderson Ford. That's right. They take care of the routine checkups. They keep your Ford or other brand in perfect working order. But if you have a bigger problem, they got these expert service technicians that can diagnose it, use state-of-the-art tools to get it resolved. I take my vehicles there. I've been doing it, for nearly 20 years now. It's Woody Anderson Ford and the service department. Second to none. Check out Woody Anderson Ford today.
Loosen my load, I got 7 women on my mind. 4 that wanna own me, 2 that wanna stone me, 1 says she's a friend of mine. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy.
Good stuff right there. Welcome back. It reminds me of when I used to do Featured Artist Friday. We used to do Featured Artist Friday back in the day. How much time do we have, John? Do we have time to get Wolverine Dan in here? He usually likes to have a little room, Let's give it a shot. Wolverine Dan, take us to the top, man. What do you got?
It sparked my interest that one gentleman that texted you, there was multiple performers it's like a California concert he mentioned or something. Those are a lot of good performers he saw.
Unbelievable. 350,000 people there. California Jam, they called it.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, and because I know your bumper music, you're into your show.
Yeah.
First segment show is up right now, but I want to say just one thing. How about those Pistons? Woo! Talk to you later.
How about those Pistons?
Good thing we got that in.
I just didn't get it. I got a whole sheet worth of notes here, John, and the Pistons just dropped off. It would have been like if I had a second page, it would have started out with the Pistons. But they didn't make the cut for the show today. All right. Jeff Diamond's coming up next. I'm Tom Abraham.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
No Wi-Fi? How are we going to stream the game?
Mom, I have a research project due.
How are we going to make dinner?
Don't let power outages send your family into a meltdown.
Get a Generac generator from Current Electrical. We keep your lights on and your Wi-Fi on. Visit gensuperstore.com or call 256-880-1880. Trust us, your family will thank you.
Most current way to keep your power on. GeneracSuperstore.com.
Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City and Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes.
Take it right to the edge with Donato's Pizza. That's right, with Donato's, they don't waste any space. And if you're going to put 100 slices of pepperoni on a pizza, you need to go edge to edge. And that provolone cheese is smoked and aged in Wisconsin. All of Donato's produce comes from right here in the Tennessee Valley as well. And Donato's is more than just pizza. Check out the subs, calzones, and wings as well. 2 locations in the Valley to serve you, in Madison on Madison Boulevard and in Huntsville on the South Parkway. Donato's Pizza.
Tom Luginbill here from WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Scott Tyson here with the 97.7 ESPN Zone Sports Minute. Behind a season-high 22 made three-pointers. 17th-ranked Alabama would lead from start to finish as they cruise past Mississippi State 100-75. Their 7th straight SEC contest win. Amari Allen leads the way with 23 points. Other SEC scores: 7th-ranked Florida 84-71 winners over Texas. 20th-ranked Arkansas downs Texas A&M 99-84. 25th-ranked Vanderbilt stops Georgia 88-80. And LSU over Ole Miss 106-99 in overtime. UNA knocks off Bellarmine at home last night, 73-68. Regional final scores: 6A girls, Fort Payne 52, Mountain Brook 37. 7A girls, Albertville falls to Hoover 74-46, and in 7A boys, Hoover stops Sparkman 62-59. Make sure and download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app today.
This segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by my friends at All About Water LLC. Well, you can learn more about them at allaboutwaterllc.com. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but look, they do everything that has anything to do with water, whether it's building a pond or refreshing your pond or a water feature on your property or drainage on your property, whatever it is involving water, they do it. That includes irrigation, maintenance of your irrigation, installation of irrigation. All About Water LLC.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. Guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Tom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on. Now live, here he is, the big dog,
Let's go, baby!
Tom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho. Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Elle McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my... I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome in. It is a Throwback Thursday in the Doghouse. It's when we feature throwback music. And with the news that the Eagles will be playing at Truist Park, we are playing all Eagles music today. You know, we are. And we know that 2 of the original Eagles are gone. We also know that Vince Gill, our friend, not Vince Young, Vince Gill, plays with the Eagles quite a bit. I don't know if Vince Gill will be playing with the Eagles when they go to Truist Park, but Vince Gill plays with everybody. You know what I mean? I mean, I've seen Vince Gill playing with, with John Bon Jovi. I've seen Vince Gill playing with the Greg Allman. I've seen Vince Gill playing, of course, with the Pure Prairie League when he started out. Vince Gill, and he's a great sports fan. He's a great Predators fan. He's been on the show, Vince Gill. And, he's he's just a great dude. And so maybe he'll be there when they go play out there. But that's who we're featuring today. Is we're featuring some Eagles music for you today. It is my getaway day today because I do have a tournament coming up at Chickamauga Lake on Saturday. Tomorrow's the practice day, so I'm heading over there this afternoon, get to the hotel, get set up and everything. So the boys will have a little best of action for you tomorrow, and that'll take you through. So we have a busy hour of the show now. Tom Luginbill of ESPN ABC is coming up in a few minutes, and he will talk about some of these college quarterbacks that are at the combine and who may look good. He's also part of the UFL broadcasts as well, and we'll get into that with him and some of the rule changes that they've got. But first, it's Jeff Diamond, and Jeff joining us not only on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, but he'll be joining us as well on WZZN TV. We'll have him in just a couple of moments coming in. He was in and he dropped out. Now he's coming back in again. Grasshopper, do we know, is he at Indianapolis? I know he does a lot of advising and so on and so forth for players that are, especially the ones that are in their agency group. Did you know if he's in Indy or is he still in Minneapolis?
Well, you can ask him yourself because he's back on.
All right, so Jeff Diamond joins us now from Parts Unknown. Oh, he's in a vehicle. He's in a plane. Maybe he's in a plane. I don't know. He's either in a car or a plane.
I think that's illegal.
I'm not sure what he is in. Jeff,
you guys hear me?
You in Indy? Jeff, are you joining us from Indianapolis or are you joining us from Minneapolis?
I'm in Minneapolis, and I just left the eye doctor. I'm in my car, so can you see me, hear me, or should I call in?
No, we can see you and we can hear you, but you apparently you probably cannot see us, I guess, because of your eye doctor appointment. Should you be hopefully somebody
I can see you, Tom.
Okay. Do you have somebody driving you? I mean, if you were at the eye, they didn't put them drops in your eyes, did they?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. Doing all right. So no problem.
All right. Well, that's good stuff. Combine gets going. You guys have a number of players, the agency that you work with as well. And talked about this a little bit and talk about, there's the physical stuff, the physicals. There is the throwing and so on and so forth that goes on, the running for the other players, the catching for the receivers and all of that. And then there is the interviews and that process. What are the GMs looking to get done at the combine?
Yeah, truly, Tom, it's kind of fascinating because the fans obviously focus on the workouts and a lot of the top college players, as we know, don't even work out at the combine. They want to wait until their pro day, which for our guys in my agent firm, we always want our guys to work out as many times as they can at the Senior Bowl, at the combine, at their pro day. But so many of the top players want to wait until their pro day for that pristine atmosphere on campus. But the problem is if you wait, you might get a lousy weather day or the player might be sick. So we want our guys to do as much as they can, get in front of the scouts as many times as they can. But I think the misconception for fans is that they think the workouts are the big thing at the combine. For a GM, for the scouting department, the coaches, really the workouts, I think, are the fourth most important thing to me. They always were. Number one, the physicals, because it's really the first chance that your team doctors, your team athletic trainers have a chance to examine these players, to look at whatever pre-existing injuries or an injury from the prior season. And the colleges always filter that information. They want their guys drafted as high as possible. So the physicals are number one. Number two are the interviews that take place for the players. And whatever their 12-minute interviews or 15-minute interviews with each team, those are really critical interviews. And one of the things I do with our agent firm is I help train our players on interview techniques, talk to them about making a good impression. Don't walk in there with your sunglasses on, with your cell phone ringing, and make sure you're not saying 15 times in an answer, and be prepared.
The interview, is it the GM, the coach, the team president? Who typically is the one that's on the other side of the interview from the team? Is it
there could be 10 people in the room or 15 people. It could be coaches, scouts, the GM, the team president. and so it varies by team and by player, but generally speaking, there are a bunch of people in the room, and so we talk to our guys about making that good first impression really important, to speak clearly, to make good eye contact, and all those things, and so the interviews are really important.
And then in the interview, just stop you there for a minute. Didn't the NFLPA, wasn't there some negotiation as to, what types of questions could be asked? Because they were getting really deep in the weeds with some of the questions, and they were trying to see how guys would react and so on. But didn't the players union, kind of put a kibosh on that? And now there's some sort of limitation, isn't there, as to what you can and can't ask?
Yeah, I think that they've tried to really weigh in and try to limit the way teams try to push buttons on players, especially if there's some type of incident in their background or family problems, and some of the teams will try to do that. Most of them don't. But yeah, the union certainly has tried to make a pushback on that type of questioning, that line of questioning, and so yeah, it's a factor, but as I said, overall, it's just an opportunity for teams to get to know a player, and if you make a really good impression, and it's a close call between two players at a position, they're going to go with the guy that they liked, that they thought was very personable, was going to be a good teammate and smart, because they'll put the players on the whiteboard, have them diagram plays or coverages or whatever. And so interviews are number 2 of importance. Number 3 of importance, Tom, are the contract negotiation discussions that really begin in earnest at the combine for upcoming free agency in a couple weeks. And teams are talking to agents. Basically all the agent firms are there. Teams are talking to agents about their own players they want to re-sign or restructure their contracts. They're talking about outside free agents, but keeping that very under the radar because it's not legal until the legal tampering period opens, whatever, March 9th, a couple days before free agency. So they have to be careful. So they'll discuss parameters. They're not going to make offers per se necessarily unless they have a really close tie with that agent. And because you can't expect to start negotiations on a free agent quarterback, whoever it is, Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, whatever you're talking about, you can't expect to start those conversations the week of free agency. You've got to be in the mix early and start to narrow down guys that you're going to focus in on. So physicals, interviews, contract discussions with agents, and then you get to the workouts, which is really, I think, the 4th most important thing at the combine this week. And as I said, a lot of those top players are not even going to work out. But hey, if a guy really blows them out of the water with a fast 40, it'll open some eyes, and then they'll want to see it again at pro day.
Well, then you got the Mike Mamulas of history, that just shot way up the board, became a 6th overall pick or whatever to Philadelphia based on, winning the underwear Olympics, as we like to call it. And then he never really panned out as a player. So you do have some of that. I would imagine that the film is going to speak to a lot of things. I'm with you, though. I think even Fernando Mendoza, who really has got 1 year of real top level experience for us to look at, I think Fernando Mendoza should be throwing. Why does it hurt him to not throw? He says, well, I want to highlight some of my receivers and have the NFL scouts see them at the pro day. So throw it both, but you can only throw once. I mean, why wouldn't a guy like that throw? It's not like, what are the Raiders going to say? Oh my gosh, he sucks. I mean, I don't get that.
Yeah, exactly. It just, how does it really hurt you? I don't think it does. And yeah, they want to throw their own receivers. They want to be in their own atmosphere at the college. But I think for Mendoza, it's not as big a deal as it is maybe for a 2nd, 3rd round pick or even a late 1st round pick to not work out at the combine. It also irritates a lot of GMs when the players don't work out, when they're all there and ready to watch them. So yeah, Mendoza, maybe you're not as concerned about, but and it all kind of, as you kind of implied, it all kind of circles back to what I would always tell our coaches and scouts in the draft room, I'd say, let's focus more on how the player played in real games, as opposed to how they measure up and how they look in the underwear Olympics. It's more important, how did they play, and that's what I would always emphasize, because as we know historically, there are guys like Jerry Rice ran a 4.5, but greatest receiver of all time because he ran great routes and had great hands and was so competitive. Chris Carter was a similar guy we had in Minnesota. Chris probably ran 4.5 at the most. Anthony Carter back in the day ran about that, but when the ball was in the air, Tom, it seemed like they ran about a 4.2.
Yeah, there's football speed. There's the intelligence on the field as well that helps a guy play fast. There's no doubt about it. And then height and weights, I would suppose, mean something too. I mean, I would imagine you make sure that your guys' numbers are fairly accurate, because nobody wants to see, a deal where Garrett Nussmeier, is listed at 6'1", 210, and then he gets there and he's 5'11". You know what I mean? And now you got a problem. It doesn't sound like much, but it does sound like much, and we have a number of quarterbacks that are in that side, that 6'1", 6'2" size, that aren't necessarily. Mendoza's listed at 6'5". Now all of a sudden it might come out he's 6'3". I don't know. Maybe he is 6'5". But there are a number of quarterbacks that are, second and third round type quarterbacks, including Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson's listed as 6'2". If it comes out that he's 6'1.5", that's a thing, I think.
Yeah, it can have an impact, definitely, but hey, there are plenty of quarterbacks that aren't that big that have been historically great, such as Drew Brees get going into the Hall of Fame, and so I think it's a little bit overrated, and all that stuff about hand size for quarterbacks. Yeah, it might be nice you have a little better grip on a ball, but how do you throw it? Can you still throw it well? And so,
I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers' hand than Kenny Pickett's hand. That's for sure. What I mean? That dude, what he can do with it. All right. So then this is not a deep quarterback draft, which then leads us to the free agents that are out there. Jeff Diamond, former NFL Executive of the Year with us, former president of the Titans. And there are some interesting free agents on the table. Kirk Cousins is going to be a free agent here shortly. A return to Minnesota could be on the table there. Daniel Jones coming off of an Achilles. Malik Willis, proceed with caution. Some people say this is the number one free agent in the cycle right now, is a guy that the Titans basically gave up on. And now here he is, the number one free agent in the cycle based on a couple of backup appearances. We got to be a little bit careful with Malik Willis unless he's taking Matt LaFleur with him.
Yeah, I agree, Tom. I think if you're looking at free agent quarterbacks, you have to be careful when you're talking about signing a guy that has limited experience. And Malik Willis did some good things in Green Bay when he played for Jordan Love, compared to what happened in Tennessee early in his career. But I would definitely proceed with caution on a guy like that who hasn't been the guy for 17 games and so forth. And there are so many examples in history of quarterbacks who had a couple great games and all of a sudden they're the guy, and it doesn't pan out that way. So you have to be definitely careful about that, compared to the body of work that you have.
Yeah, I don't know if you're on the move.
Even Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones. So
you got him down for there. His phone getting a little bit chippy there, Jeff. I don't know if you can hear us, but you're breaking up a little bit there. All right, before I let you go, Mac Jones. Let's talk about the former Alabama quarterback, Mac Jones. You feel like there's a little Sam Darnold in that guy, although he had a really good rookie year when he started out with the Patriots. I thought Mac Jones was looking like, he was going to be a thing, and now he's bounced around a little bit. But talk about Mac Jones a little bit with the 49ers and, backing up a guy like Brock Purdy, who is excellent but fragile.
Yeah, I think Mac Jones is an interesting guy to me, Tom, and obviously played.
I think
I'm gonna call him.
Yeah, we're gonna have to kill that off with Jeff, and we won't be able to get that response there from him. Hold off on that, John. we got Tom Luginbill coming up here in a few minutes, and we want to make sure that we're on time to get him in. He's on a ski slope somewhere. I don't know where he is. He's in some sort of a ski slope somewhere, but we're going to find out and get his take on it. This is not a real deep draft quarterback wise. I mean, it's just not. And when you look at the prospects at quarterback, Fernando Mendoza is the only one that's really considered a first-round quarterback. Now, Ty Simpson, somebody will take a reach on him and pull him into the first round. And I think Ty Simpson has an opportunity to be a great NFL quarterback or a serviceable NFL quarterback. The kid out of North Dakota State, Cole Payton, some people think he's the third best quarterback in this rotation. And then there's guys like Garrett Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik and Drew Allar, and Carson Beck. What do you do with guys like that? Well, Tom Luginbill is going to tell us what to do with guys like that. And he's going to join us here in just a few minutes. We'll do that next, right here on the Tom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Braves baseball today in the Grapefruit League. Atlanta $1.42 underdog of the Yankees minus 170 at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. Last night in the college ranks, Alabama with a 100-75 romp over Mississippi State, covering as 12.5-point favorites as they win their seventh straight game. Jacksonville State 7.5-point home favorites with Delaware at the Pete Matthews Coliseum last night. In NASCAR, the Circuit of the Americas in Austin hosting the Duramax Grand Prix. Shane Van Gisbergen the plus 120 favorite. Connor Zilic plus 350. Christopher Bell 9-1. William Byron is 10-1. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Charger basketball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Swings it over to Jordan Mabe. Mabe attacks it. Boy, Jordan wants some. He'll scoop it, lays it up and one for Jordan Mabe.
This is Charger basketball.
A three in the corner, up and good for Q. He now has 20 in the game. We're tied at 66.
This is Charger basketball.
Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City and Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it.
To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You can't say that in reverse.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231.
Far down the line, I know what's been on your mind. You're afraid it's all been wasted.
Yeah, welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. Eagles getting played today on a Throwback Thursday here in the doghouse. All right. So Tom Luginbill, ABC, ESPN, that's all, is on a slope somewhere. Or at least I thought we were going to have him like actually going down the mountain while he was talking to us, which would have been fascinating. But apparently he's been run back to the lodge because it's raining wherever he is at. And he joins us now on a Neighbors Wealth Management hotline and as well on WZZN TV. So, Lugs, are you in the Carolina Mountains? Are you out west in Colorado? Or are you up in the Carolina Mountains?
No, I'm in the Carolina Mountains right now, and I got my meta glasses on right here, Tom. I could have been taking you down the slopes. We could have been talking ball. We could have had it all on audio, all on video. That was my whole plan, and we've been rained out this morning, so we're not getting out until this afternoon, man. I had it all mapped out. I'm pissed.
And it's funny because the rain has stopped now in Tennessee and Alabama, so it's moving that way. So I'm sure that it will clear out there for you, and it's going to be the next couple of days. Is that artificial snow over there? Is it all snow making, or is that real snow to you up in those mountains?
It's a mix of both, natural snow, and they have full snow making capability. It's about 2.5 hours from Charlotte where I live, so we try to get up here as often as we can.
You ski a lot, right? I mean, you go down, you go to Colorado, you go to Vail, you go to Tahoe, you go places you're into the skiing, right?
Yeah, that's my big like off season thing. In the wintertime, I'm a huge snow skier. Wintertime, it's boating and water skiing. But I try to get out, after the season ends, when we're just on that grind from mid-August till, that first week in February, and then to get a little window before the UFL starts. And then that's where I really just try to get some of my personal time back with the family, and we try to travel around as much as we can.
Snowboard or skis?
Ski. I mean, come on.
Ski.
I'm not. Yeah, ski.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
No, I mean, I'll tell you what, in the Olympics, that snowboard cross is fascinating. I love putting them down together. I love that.
I love all of the winter games that involve skiing and snowboarding and all of that stuff. I mean, those guys are freaking spectacular, dude. It's unreal. It really is. I'll text you a picture when we're done here of my couple of shots of my last outing in Tahoe about 3 weeks ago.
I can't believe when they show the mountain, and I skied a couple of times in my life. I was a hockey player, so I was good with skates. But when they show some of those shots, and they're going 90 miles an hour on the downhill, and it's and they're skiing. They look like they're skiing off the edge of the earth. I don't know how those guys. I don't know how they do it. I mean, they have the biggest stones of anybody out there. They're right there with NASCAR drivers in terms of having stones.
Dude, I hit 55 miles an hour in Tahoe a couple weeks back, and I thought my skin was going to melt off. I have no idea what they're doing. I have no idea how they're doing it. It's unbelievable.
All right, let's talk about the combine, which is getting started here. We've got quarterbacks. This is not a real deep quarterback class. Most people think that Fernando Mendoza is the only first-round quarterback, although somebody will probably reach for Ty Simpson because that's what they do in the NFL. But start with Mendoza. If you're advising the young man, does he throw? I mean, I know he's going to throw at his Indiana Pro Day. He's only got really one good year in the books that we can really kind of break down a little bit. I mean, what would it hurt for him to throw at the combine?
I don't think it would hurt at all. I think, to be honest with you, we all know and watched before our eyes this past fall in terms of how he performed at Indiana. But a lot of people weren't aware of him when he was at Cal. My work with the ACC network, that was the first year Cal was in the ACC, and I saw him a lot. And I think what NFL guys and why they're gravitating towards him is if you go back to that year at Cal, he had virtually zero help around him. And his offensive front was horrendous. And he just kept getting beat up and knocked to the ground and beat up. And he would just keep getting back up. And his accuracy wouldn't waver. His decision making wouldn't waver. I think his mental toughness and the competitive temperament that you look for really came through. If you go back 2 years ago and you watch him at Cal, we all just saw all the good stuff, right? At Indiana this past fall. I don't think he needs to throw. I think, when it gets down to it, the pro day will be fine for him. At this stage, for a guy really all of the quarterbacks, but his whole process right now needs to be mental, emotional, interview, conversations, sitting down with GMs and head coaches and coordinators. And those guys are going to really start peeling back the layers on him in areas that have nothing to do with him being in shirts and shorts at the Underwear Olympics and going through, all of the testing and in the combine data and all of that time. I think his stuff is going to be really valuable for NFL teams indoors.
So he goes to a team in the Raiders that just have needs everywhere. And a lot of people would say, look, if you're the Raiders, the last thing you draft is the quarterback piece. The first thing you got to do is you got to get this offensive line straightened out.
Yeah.
They've got a good running back, obviously, there. They've got tight ends up the yin-yang, and that's great. But, man, you look at Mendoza going to a place like that, Geno Smith's not going to be retained. So Mendoza's starting, from day one. And then you look at the scenario that could happen for Ty Simpson, where he could get drafted, let's say, by the Steelers, or and sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year, or by some other team that has got an aging quarterback that is near the bottom of the draft, and so on. It's almost a better scenario for Ty Simpson to go someplace and have the Aaron Rodgers treatment where he sits for 2 or 3 years, as opposed to a guy like Fernando Mendoza, where he's going to go to the Raiders and get his knob well, because you saw him against the pass rush against Miami in the championship game. You get him off the mark, he becomes kind of ordinary.
Well, and that if you actually go to the Iowa game at Iowa, which they had to come from behind to win 20-15, you saw a lot of those same things happen with him. But you're right, where you're slotted, where you go, which teams are going to be in a position to take you in a certain slot can, obviously the money side of it is a big deal, is the top overall pick, but longevity in the league, being ready to play, not being thrown to the fire, having a supporting cast and people around you to help you grow and develop. I mean, I don't think Jalen Hurts would have developed into what he was developed into had he gone to a place like Las Vegas. Instead, what does he do? He goes to a franchise that had pieces of the puzzle around him, and then he gets to work into it. So I totally agree with that. And it's, as you mentioned, it's not an elite quarterback year. I think one of the reasons for Ty Simpson that is a positive that people are going to like about him is, he wasn't a transfer guy. He's not, a true sophomore. He may not have as many starts under his belt, but he's older, he's mature, he's stuck around. I think that plays well for him. I think that's, NFL coaches and scouts, especially in that realm of what you just referenced in terms of going to maybe a better quality team where you're not forced to take the field right away. They're going to love that about him because of the maturity side of things.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Tom Luginbill with us here, and he needs to really be 6'2", 208. I think that's the other thing, because we've got a number of quarterbacks. Garrett Nussmeier is listed as 6'1", 205. Cade Klubnik is listed as 6'2", 210. Those guys come in at 6'1.5" or 6 foot. You know what I mean? A little bit. or 5'11" or something, all of a sudden it does kind of change things a little bit, I think, in the way they're viewed.
Well, I've obviously over the last 15 to 20 years, the height side of it with how the offense has spread the field, you're backing people up into the shotgun, it's helping the shorter quarterback, right? But we still don't have a lot of verifiable evidence in a large sample size of 5'10", 5'11" guys flourishing in the league, right?
Right.
So
They're not outside of Russell Wilson. They really aren't winning ultimately.
yeah, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray will make a bunch of spectacular plays, but he's never going to win long term because he won't take the gimme, right? And so,
Right.
I listen. I think if you're 6'1" plus now in today's game, that's what they're looking for. And if you happen to be a Ty Simpson or a Fernando Mendoza, who's big, tall, and athletic, that's really the trifecta right there.
And then there's a couple of wild cards here. What do you know about this Cole Payton kid out of North Dakota State? He's listed at 6'3", 233. Some people have him as high as the number 3 quarterback, right behind Mendoza and Ty Simpson, and ahead of Nussmeier, Klubnik, Olar, Carson Beck, any of those guys. What do we know about that kid?
A lot in terms of production and sample size. And again, developed quarterback over the course of time, because when those guys are recruiting those guys, they're not play right away players when they enter into college, right? And so the maturation process and the development process is something that I think reflects positively on guys like that. Now, you're always going to have questions, and Trey Lance is probably a bad comparison here, just because Trey Lance should not have come out when he needed to play more. But you're going to look at the level of competition. You're going to look at that week in and week out. You're on one of the most dominant teams at that level. So how often are you challenged outside of when you get to the playoffs? It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. And now you're really getting into where you're talking about reaches, right? You're going to try to convince yourself that, okay, well, we'll take this guy over this guy because of this, and this. When the reality is, if it's a certain year like this, if it was any other year, you wouldn't take a lot of these guys, right? I mean, I would draft Cade Klubnik. I don't know. I don't see that one, but he's probably going to get drafted. But if he was in another year, whatever year you want to come up with, if there's 5 to 7 really good guys, where would he stand in that type of quarterback group?
Where are you on Carson Beck?
I think Carson Beck really helped himself this past season in a couple of areas. Number one, he played a lot of his best football outside of the final game against Indiana, but he played a lot of his best football against the best teams in the country, because when you get in a playoff scenario like that and the way they got in, you had to go out and beat people, right? And you had to go out and beat good teams. He's played a ton of football. He's older. Thought he went through a spell this past fall where he could have gone one or two ways. If you remember the loss versus Louisville and the loss versus SMU, that's a combined 6 turnovers. And in order for them to recover and get to where they got to have a chance in the playoffs, he had to play well. And that last 5 to 6 weeks of the season, he played his best football heading into the playoffs. So I think that sample size is going to be heavily scrutinized in a positive way, but limited athletically. I think he's got more than enough arm talent, obviously, for the next level. But it'll be interesting to see. I think, again, having played a lot of football is going to carry some weight for some of those guys.
Tom Luginbill with us here. All right, before I let you go, you'll be on the UFL again this upcoming year. A lot of changes. You got a new guy in management, a part owner there that is obviously shaking things up quite a bit. A lot of new coaches in the league. Half the coaches are new. A lot of focus on AJ McCarron in the South to see how he is going to do, as a coach. That's all wonderful. And then we get these new rules that came out yesterday or a couple of days ago that I think are kind of fascinating. The first one that jumps out to me as an old special teams coordinator, you can't punt when you go past the 50-yard line. If you go past the 50-yard line, you no longer can punt. However, a field goal of 60 yards or more, and I think there were 15 of them in the NFL this year, a field goal of 60 yards or more is now worth 4 points instead of 3 points. Does that encourage offense, or does that encourage, go ahead, let's kick a long field goal? I'm not sure.
Listen, I love that we actually incorporate the no punt past the 45-yard line in the Under Armour All-America game, and I love the 4 point field goal rule. I think it adds to the scoring side of things, but it also adds to how you chip away and keep the games close. If you paid attention to spring football the last 5 years, whether it was USFL, the XFL, and now the UFL, the scores are always close because you have the 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point attempt after a touchdown. And it's, if you notice, a lot of those scores are 21-18, 18-12, 18-15. Well, now all of a sudden you're sitting there at 18-15 and you've got an opportunity to kick a 61-yard field goal and the game's over, right? So
Yeah.
I kind of like it. I like that, and not just because I've been involved in it or I've coached in professional spring leagues, but I like where they try to take the rules that make sense. Like the rules make sense. There's,
Yeah.
I think that adds to the overall game and to the overall sport. And each and every year, Dean Blandino and the whole crew, they're trying to come up with ways to. Listen, I remember that you're going to love this one. I remember in the original XFL in 2001, and Ron Meyer was the head coach of Chicago, and one of the rules that he proposed was that the ground can cause a fumble, meaning that
Make
you eliminate any review, eliminate any gray area from the official making the call in that moment, and you're basically telling whoever the player is with the ball, you damn well better hold on to it. Now, we didn't end up implementing the rule, but a lot of us really liked it.
Yeah, I would like that. I mean, I would think that that would be good. Of course,
Yeah.
in the old days with the NFL, when you tackle the guy, you had to hold him down. It wasn't a matter of like if you were the down by contact, wasn't a real thing. Although I don't mind the college rule there. I don't mind the rule where, your knee touches, you're down. It
Sure.
eliminates all of this. To me, I would like that to see that. What I didn't like or I'm not sure about, or I wish there was uniformity with is the 1 foot in now, and the UFL is, it's the college rule. So 1 foot in is a good catch. And I would think that in a league that views itself between college and the NFL, would think they would want to stick with the NFL rule and go 2 feet in. If I'm evaluating these guys, I want to see 2 feet in.
Sure.
I think at that point.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Have you seen the new uniforms? Have you seen some of the new logos? And so they've done a really nice job.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of monochromatic for everybody. I thought the Houston Gamblers, they had a great opportunity to kind of go throwback with the old Jim Kelly Houston Gambler gear, which was
It's close though. It's just a variation of it.
Yeah.
But I will say this, the number one most important thing they did, and it's one of the reasons why DC has had such advantages with their home games, is outside of St. Louis, which draws really well. Every team is now playing in an MLS stadium. So you're going to have great crowds in smaller venues.
Isn't Birmingham still in Protective Stadium though?
Yeah, they're still in Protective Stadium. That's correct. Yeah, but they have no choice.
40,000. Yeah, it's a 40,000 seat stadium there, and they need to. They need to go. I mean, I don't understand why in the South this would be. This is the football capital of the world. This is better. There's only a few guys on Alabama, Auburn, and each of these teams only have a few guys that could even play at that level. Yet, 90,000 people will go watch a college game, and yet 12,000 show up to watch a UFL game where these guys are literally in between being a college player and a pro player. These are fringe pro players, and nobody wants to show up. I don't get it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, think about it. Remember when I was the head coach of the Vipers, man, we packed in 9K, 8,500, 9K every single home game in the Von Braun Center.
Yeah, had 15,000 in Birmingham. Play against the Birmingham Steel Dogs.
Yeah.
And you get 15,000 to go to the outdoor game.
I know.
They were great. They dominated the league, won 3 championships.
3 championships. Yeah. Boy, those poor Steel Dogs on that night.
Oh yeah, that was nuts.
I really felt for him.
What's going on with Skip Holtz now? Why didn't he? I thought he wanted to return to college coaching. I was surprised that his name really didn't come up in any jobs.
I don't think he does, to be honest with you. I know what's going on, obviously, with his father right now. And they made sweeping changes coaching wise across the league. Obviously, Anthony Becht, who is at St. Louis, is now the head coach at Orlando when they shift some of the teams around. But we have, Rick Neuheisel is going to be brand new. Kevin Sumlin's going to be brand new. You've got Columbus and Louisville going to have brand new coaches. So it's going to be a new look this year.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. All right. Well, be safe out there whenever you do get back on the mountainside, because it's going to be, it could be a little icy with the rain and everything else. But, I appreciate you kind of wrapping things up for us here. And
yeah, man.
On the lookout for you in the UFL. I assume you're going to be you'll be in the booth for the UFL, I would imagine.
No, I'm going back into my sideline analyst role. Just really, to be honest with you, the way that league operates and the way the coverage operates, I need to be down there because of the interaction and the X's and O's and the player interviews and the coach interviews. And I have, a 12-year history of doing that with our company. It just makes more sense.
Well, and it's a valuable part. I mean, we've seen it in hockey now. Every hockey broadcast has a guy between the glass.
Yeah, I know.
It's a different it's a different
vantage point.
Yeah, it's a different vantage point. And I think that I'm not saying this because we're buddies and you come on the show all the time, but I think you were as instrumental in highlighting the beer snake, right? Whatever that thing was in DC.
Yeah.
As anybody indicate, because you were the one that pointed it out. It was down there and making a big thing out of it and everything. Yeah. Got in the crowd and all that. So, that was a big part. And hopefully they'll go back in DC to fill in that building.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great atmosphere.
I mean, Tom, we took it so far. I became so enamored with it that we did like a whole mathematical equation. We measured what the ounces of the cups were, what the length of each cup was, how many cups it took to get halfway up the stadium, and then how many cups it took to get from halfway point to the top before you had to turn it left or right before it would go over the back of the stadium. Like we had it measured out to the inch, dude.
That is so cool. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you as always. Be safe there, and we'll look for you in the UFL.
Will do, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Thanks. There you go. Tom Luginbill. He's a great dude. Great dude. All right, we're going to break in here. When we come back, we're going to go open lines for this final segment. You want to jump on board, you can. And I do not understand. I mean, I don't understand a lot of stuff, but I can't get my head around the fact that we have politicized the U.S. men's Olympic gold medal to the level that we have. I mean, I know they were at the State of the Union on Tuesday night. It was a phenomenal moment for America. I don't understand how politics came into it. And I'm going to give you a sample of one of the most insane takes that I have found out there on social media regarding the women not going and the men going and the men and the women's teams and the little joke that, I'll get impeached if I don't invite the women as well and all of that kind of stuff. I'll have that for you next right here in the Tom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
It's softball time in Alabama, and the best place for your travel softball team is to play with USSSA softball. Not only for the best travel team tournaments, but for recreational softball tournaments all around the area, as well for your high school level softball team. Plus, the USSSA National Championship this year is at the Gulf Shore in Orange Beach and the Foley Softball Complex. Now, for more information, visit alfastpitch.uSSSA.com. That's alfastpitch.uSSSA.com.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSB.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he could take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by USSSA Softball. If you're looking for a great tournament to put your team in, your high school level softball team in, you need to check out alfastpitch.uSSSA.com and find out where the best tournaments are. Anywhere throughout North Alabama, they've got great tournaments. Go ahead and check it out. alfastpitch.uSSSA.com. That's alfastpitch.uSSSA.com.
Raven hair and ruby lips, sparks fly from her fingertips. Echo voices in the night. She's a restless spirit.
That's a good one. So I sing this one a lot around the house to my dog. It's a dog. Why would you call your dog a witchy woman? My dog Betty, our dog Betty, she's always scratching herself. We've tried so many different things. She takes a shot once a month at the doctor. I mean, this dog costing me a couple of $100 a month, easy, just the maintenance stuff. Certain food that she's got to eat and everything else because her coach is only. So I walk around the house calling her itchy woman. So I'm like, ooh, itchy woman.
I did not expect to go that way with
it. I went there. I went itchy woman. Speaking of itchy woman, so there's all this controversy about the men's team, the women's team, what the president said in the locker room, and blah, 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 blah. And the men's team being patriotic, and the women's team, they didn't go to the thing, and now they don't know when they're going to go to the White House. I mean, it's absolutely asinine that this has become political. I mean, everything is political now, and that this has to become political. I mean, and there was a time, depending on when Tim Thomas didn't go to the White House to see Barack Obama after the Bruins won in 2011, he was roasted. He was killed by CNN and folks on the left for not honoring the president, not going there. and being disrespectful by not accepting an invite to go to the White House with the Bruins when he didn't go for political reasons. Now they're killing, not the same exact people are killing the men's team for going to the White House. What happened to being like, it's disrespectful if you don't go? It's because of the guy that's in the Oval Office. It's so blatantly obvious. It's ridiculous. And I don't understand how something like the men winning Olympic gold and draping themselves in the flag and saying that we love our country, how that is a negative thing. And there's no rivalry between the men's team and the women's team. But this is the kind of stuff that is out there on social media.
Literally only one way to solve this, and we're all thinking it. U.S. men's hockey team, if the women's hockey team is such a ha-ha-he-he
Wait, we're all thinking it. I love that part of it. We're all thinking it.
Joke, men versus women. I want to see the Olympic gold medal winning teams play each other, okay? Men versus women, head-to-head, two best teams in the world. Winner gets voting rights in the next election. I mean, there's...
What? We're all thinking it. Has it ever crossed your mind, Grasshopper? That, you know what? I'd like to see the women's team play the men's team.
Not in hockey.
Not hockey. She says, look, we're all thinking it.
Literally only one way to solve this, and we're all thinking it. U.S. men's hockey team, if the women's hockey team is such a ha-ha-he-he joke, men versus women. I want to see the Olympic gold medal winning teams play each other, okay?
I mean, you got to be kidding me.
She's setting them up to get all of them to get concussions. And that's if the men
first of all,
decide to play hardcore.
Well, there's no hitting in the women's game. There's no checking. You're not allowed to check in the women's game. It's a different game. All right. It's like field hockey versus hockey. You're not allowed to check in the women's game. So are we playing no check rules? Or are we playing check rules? Beyond that, the same thing, I'm going to tell you the same thing that Pat Summitt told me years ago about her Tennessee National Championship women's basketball team that she said would get beat by a high-level boys high school team in Knoxville. A junior team, a men's junior team would beat the women's Olympic hockey team. And that's not to diss the women's Olympic hockey team. It's okay to be best in class. It's okay to be the best women's hockey team on the planet. That's okay. But you're going to play the men? I mean, the men would score every rush. They'd go down the ice score. I mean, it'd be ridiculous. A junior hockey team out of Canada, a top junior hockey team made up of 15 and 16-year-old boys in the country, in the US of A, would beat the women's Olympic team like a mule. They'd skate right around them, through them, backwards, sideways. Would be close. Forget the men's Olympic team. A top-notch junior team takes them down. Stop it. Stop politicizing something so wonderful. Let's have this wonderful moment. Left, right. Whatever you are. Let's celebrate this great moment. All right. I'm going to celebrate fishing in a tournament this weekend. Boys, have a best of for you tomorrow. They did a wonderful job with this show. As always, I'm Tom Abraham. Have a great day, everybody.